With low inventory, the issue is the seller. Now, what interest rate will it take for the seller to get off the sidelines and sell their homes? Next. This was a question I broached on a live with What's a Mortgage a couple weeks ago, and now we're starting to see more articles pop up about it. They have different opinions. I have an opinion. We're gonna see who's right. All next on Real Estate Daily. Welcome everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in real estate, housing, and the mortgage market. Now, before we jump into it, do me a favor. If you're a seller, which we're going to kind of focus on you today, and you have never sold a home before, or even if you have, we're gonna get you a seller's guide. It's click down the link below, put your email address, send it right out. We'll get you a hot copy right off the press. It's Troy's Home Seller's Guide. All right, let's jump into it. CNBC today, Diana Olick. Again, if it's positive news, you don't see my girlfriend's face ever. If it's negative, she's all over the front cover of every magazine and media. It says mortgage demand grows, driven by sales of new homes. Well, new homes are hot, but you still have, even though we have decreased inventory, we're still seeing all those homes hot too. So it's just everyone's on the sidelines and they're getting all this information about the Fed about ready to pivot. If they pivot, we're going to see mortgage rates go down. So you're getting hot and heavy waiting for that moment. So that's what we're seeing, mortgage demand tick up. Now, also, there'll be a certain level of interest rates in which people will start refining. So that's what also is piquing interest right now, is they want to refi by the end of the year. This could be a possible moment. Let me get ready and get my mortgage application in. All right, next. All right, when mortgage rates hit, now this is his opinion. My opinion was 4%. So we took a survey on our social media live, and it seemed like the majority of people would have somewhat of an idea of they would sell their home and move up. If the rates were in the 4s, it was an acceptable rate. Now, here we have Robert Reckfin, Compass CEO, says at closing bell, he said, when mortgage rates hit 5%, expect a flood of housing inventory. Now, I don't believe that whatsoever. I think 5% is way too much. If you've got a loan that you did in 2020, 2021, and 2022, at least the first half of 2022, you're in the 2s and 3s. A 5 doesn't really make sense. It's not a parallel move. Even if you do have a lot of equity and you moved into a bigger house, you're going to see a significant amount, a raise in your mortgage payment. But in the 4s, it's different. It is significantly different. I can do kind of a parallel move, get a small bump in rates, and then go from there. And I think that's the magical number. He says 5, I say 4. We're gonna see what happens. Now, we are at historic lows. We're in the high 100,000s. So we're about 850 to 950,000 homes currently listed. Typically right now we're over 2 million. So we're way under 50%. So if we want to go what he's talking about, when it hits 5%, then a flood would be, we would be in the 1.5 range, I think 1.6, which would then be plenty of homes out there. I'm not sure that we're going to see that many homes, at least a 70, 80% jump in homes hit the market at that point, but we'll see. You know what? I mean, I don't want to be Mr. Know-it-all, but I do know a lot. Next. So before we jump into it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We're going to give you the best 5 to 10 minutes in real estate on a daily basis. Now, if you're thinking about selling, where the hell are you going to go? Well, you're going to move up. But a lot of you out there are starting to find that your job is not located in a central location. You can work from home. So why would you live in this hellhole named LA? Well, you wouldn't. So that's why a lot of people are moving out of Los Angeles. We're going to go over the top 10 destination states in the United States according to Redfin, and then we're going to go over the top 10 that nobody wants to live in. And yes, you're right. California is a hole, right? And it's fun. We'll find out. So let's jump into it. It says Sunbelt metros remain the top destination for relocating homebuyers. Sunbelt is Arizona and Nevada. So the top 2 here is Phoenix, Las Vegas, Miami, surprise, surprise, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Saratoga, Florida, Cape Coral, Florida. Guys, I wonder where people are going. Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas. I wonder why everyone's rolling into red states. Doesn't make any sense to me, does it? To you? Oh, that's right. We have Gavin Newsom out here, because who's the worst metros that everyone wants to leave? San Francisco, number 3, Los Angeles. Look at these places, man. These are big metro areas that nobody wants to live in because they've been run into the ground. You got Boston, Chicago, Minneapolis, Denver. I mean, this is ridiculous. People are just leaving major cities and going into like the medium cities, especially if you look at this, it's really centralized in more states that are friendly to the red team. People want to live a better life. They don't want to be overtaxed, overburdened, and overcrimed and over homeless. And this is all social agendas that are happening in certain states. And unfortunately, that's why leaving California is a reality. All right, let's jump into the interest rates. You know, I'm still trying to get these interest rates into the under 6.6s. Thank you, FHA. You're cooperating. We're just on the fringe. Tomorrow, we want to see under 6.6. Basically, 30-year conventional was flat, but we did see jumbo jump, and it's about ready to cross 7. And the reason why is it becomes a riskier loan, and a lot of banks don't want to write it. They'd rather write FHA and have the government back the loan. That's what they're doing. Jumbo loans are just a higher risk that a lot of people don't want to take, and that's why you're seeing crazy rates. You know, before, you know, was it 3 months ago, 2 months ago? We looked right here. If I come in and I go right here, we saw the little bit of when these jumbo rates went below both conforming and FHA, and ever since then they just been on this tear. I mean, they're above everything, going on a tear, going straight up. And it's just, they're scared. They don't want to get foreclosed on. There's not as much backing by the government if this happens. And we know the government's broke. I mean, they just went through a debt ceiling issue. They're not quantitative easing, they're quantitative tightening, and the banks are failing that are out there. So nobody really wants to lend, especially on higher dollar amounts. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being in here. If you have any comments, please leave them below. I do read my comments. There's one or two of you that actually get back to me every day, and I'm really appreciate it. Otherwise, you guys take care. I will see you tomorrow.